So what is your favorite anime series on Netflix? Let me know about that in the comments section below, because today I've got the top 10 most popular anime series on Netflix by the Netflix user score. And things have been really different this time because, as you guys remember, I've been doing these lists for years now, and every so often I update them, and every time I do, Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood were dominating the list, and rightfully so. They're a great anime, but this time it is different because the license with Funimation has expired, so they're no longer on Netflix, so things are different. Starting off at number 11, and I'm doing 11 this time because there's one anime that's on this list twice and is in two different spots, so it kind of equals out to being 10 in the end. Number 11 is Kill La Kill, which is insanity with alien clothes and all sorts of crazy fighting going on here. It's a lot of action and excitement going on. I didn't think it was too much of a story going on there, but it was just a lot of crazy fights going on, and I think if you're going to enjoy that, if you are someone who's in the mood for a lot of really insane over-the-top fights, but not so much of a story. It's pretty funny, too, at times as well. I remember laughing at it. Number 10 is the very first Berserk anime movie, which is going to be a set of 3. It's part of the Golden Age trilogy, and they only have the first movie there, which I guess that's somewhat forgivable because they are movies, and I guess you could see them as just being different things, even though the stories are all connected. But basically, what these stories are supposed to be doing is it's adapting a part of the manga that was also adapted in the 1997 anime series, but it's more faithful to the manga, but it's a lot shorter, so of course there are some minor things which are going to be left out. But either way, it's 3 movies, and it looks a whole lot better than the 2016 anime series does, but I'm not going to get on that in this video. I already talked about that yesterday. So next at number 9, we have an anime series which is making its debut in the Netflix top 10, but it has actually been on Netflix for quite a while, and this is something that people always ask me about when I make these videos. They say, Bob, where's Hunter x Hunter 2011? And surprisingly, it just now got on the list at number 9, which is surprising to me. It's probably surprising to you guys as well, considering that how many people are really behind this show. And this is a list by popularity and votes and whatnot. I expected maybe 9th place or 10th place when it just got on Netflix, because it's got to compete against all the other shows in terms of popularity. But by now, I would have expected this to be maybe top 5 or top 3 material. However, this not even the complete series. It's only the first 5 seasons, so it is still missing a decent amount of episodes. I mean, even if you're just missing 1 episode, that's still a lot. You gotta have the complete series on there, because why else would you watch unless it's the complete series? By the way, I gotta talk about this at the end of the video after I finish my list and go through my recommendations and whatnot, because, man, like, they have a history of having incomplete series on Netflix, and I just gotta talk about that at the end. Number 8 is Rurouni Kenshin, which is actually the complete series, and no pat on the back needed for this, because it's like 1996, I think? It's out from the 90s, so if they didn't have the complete series, then that would be pretty sad. But then again, at the same time, the 3rd season is nothing but non-canon filler, so even if they didn't have the complete series, it wouldn't be, you know, nothing of value was lost, honestly, even though there were a few enjoyable episodes there. Honestly, if you're looking to get into Rurouni Kenshin and you are somebody who likes to read manga, then just go for the manga. This is something, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but the manga is much better. You gotta read the manga. I know everybody says that because it's true lots of times. I just like to have faith in the anime series to do a good adaptation, even though they a lot of times don't. Next at number 7, we have an anime series which is on my personal list of anime that I'm honestly embarrassed that I have not seen yet, which is Durarara. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, Bob, what's wrong with you? How come you haven't seen Durarara? Because it's like a really popular anime, but I just haven't had time to watch it. I mean, I want to watch it. I have nothing against it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because I like to watch a lot of different anime from the 70s all the way up until today. You know, that's a lot of stuff in between there, and I just haven't gotten around to Durarara yet. But on a side note with this, it is actually the complete series, so that is definitely a positive with this. Next at number 6, we have Gurren Lagann, which is a mecha, and I know the mecha reception is kind of strange because there are plenty of people who just downright hate mecha and they don't want anything to do with it, but I think Gurren Lagann is an anime that kind of like bridges the gap between the mecha fans and the non-mecha fans, and it's something strange because I know a lot of mecha fans that really don't like Lagann, and a lot of non-mecha fans, people who refuse to watch a Gundam anime that love Gurren Lagann. It's pretty strange how that works, but there's loads of action going on here. It's a story with a massive scope, which I don't want to say too much about because it's a story that changes like very often within the show, so I can't really say too much about why people love it because then I would spoil it, but it's definitely something that you should be checking out. Next at number 5, and by the way, Gurren Lagann is the complete series on Netflix. Next at number 5, we have Death Note. We all knew that that would be on the list here, and I think everybody has seen it outside of like 1 or 2 people by now, so there's not really a whole lot I need to say about that. If you haven't seen it, you probably should. It is also the complete series. Number 4 is Your Lie in April, which is an anime that I reviewed not too long ago, and I actually enjoyed it. I do recommend it if you're looking for a slice of life drama. And the thing is with this, it does have some issues because I felt that it fell short of its full potential because it tried to do certain things which are popular in today's anime, which actually retract from its ability to tell the story. I actually go into detail about that in my review if you want to go ahead and check that out before or after. It doesn't contain spoilers, so you will be safe, even though I do have to talk about certain things in the second half. Nonetheless, it's something that I do recommend it, and it's also the full series on Netflix. Number 3 is Durarara X2. So it's the second season, it's the continuation of Durarara, and it's all the way up to number 3. The second season of something, usually you would assume that the very first season will be higher than the second season, because most people would watch number 1, and then some of them would watch number 2, or maybe they just would forget to rate number 2. So next at number 2, we have a show which has been on these lists for a long time. I think as long as I've been making them, it's actually been in the high spots on this list. It is Rosario Vampire, which is the complete series. It's both seasons of it, and it's basically about a boy, a normal boy, who goes to a monster school by accident, and he has this harem of monster girls, and you know, nowadays we get sort of stuff like this all the time. It's self-explanatory. If you like harem and comedy and school stuff, then you might like this. I remember actually enjoying this and laughing at it quite a long time ago, and I tried to re-watch some of it recently. I don't know why. I think I just was cutting my hair and turned Netflix on just to see what was there, to listen to something to pass the time, and that was there, and just listening to it after it had been such a long time, yeah, things have definitely changed over the years, and I just couldn't get into it this time around. Either way, moving on to number 1, keep in mind that Hunter x Hunter is number 9 on this list. Number 1 is Bleach. So Bleach is number 1, but to be absolutely fair, it's only the first 3 seasons, and you know, having an incomplete series has been a negative for many of the other points so far on this list, but at the same time, you know, Bleach is the first 3 seasons of the cream of the crop. It's like your introductory, and then you have your Soul Society arc, which is 2 seasons right there. And then after that, it kind of goes downhill. So I don't really blame people for rating those 3 arcs a little bit higher, but I'm sure people are going to be raging down below in the comment section about Hunter x Hunter being number 9 and Bleach being number 1. So that was the top 10, and on to my recommendations, because honestly, this wasn't the best top 10, but then again, at the same time, there's been a lot of anime removed from Netflix. I don't see Samurai Champloo, we don't have, of course, The Fullmetal Alchemist, I've already explained that, and there are a few other shows which are no longer on Netflix now, so, you know, it is a few that I'd like to recommend still. This is something new that is actually on Netflix, is the first 52 episodes of Case Closed, which, if you're looking for, like, an episodic crime mystery, then definitely check it out. I do really enjoy Case Closed, and I need to get back around to watching that, because I've only seen, like, just what's been licensed, because it's got a really good dub. By the way, I recommend the dub. So my next recommendation is Mushishi. However, it only has the first 20 episodes. So if you just want to watch the first 20 episodes of Mushishi, there you go. I don't know why they don't have the complete series. I think it's, what is it, like 24 episodes in total? You know, they're just taking away the 4 eps. Come on. But Mushishi is this fantasy show which is absolutely beautiful, and I felt that it's hard to marathon for me because I felt that it was a lot to take in per episode because it's episodic. Each episode from the next is kind of different. It's got this exorcist who's traveling around Japan and he's exorcising these spirits. Absolutely beautiful. For example, there's this one episode where a guy had a pillow which had a spirit in it, and it was getting into his dreams, and his dreams were like spilling out into reality. It's some pretty like wild and intense stuff going on here, so definitely check it out. and also you got like 4 eps to check out somewhere else, I guess. So my next 2 recommendations are for shonen action comedy series, and if you're in the mood for that, I would recommend checking out Seven Deadly Sins and also Soul Eater, and these are shows that, you know, are kind of safe recommendations, but they're ones that I actually really enjoyed for the comedy and the action. However, the first halves are usually a lot stronger for these two than the second halves. They kind of like fall apart in the second halves, in my opinion. But I like the art style, I like the comedy, I like the characters, especially within the first half of these 2 shows. Next, we have Moribito, which is a action fantasy drama, I think, following this this female protagonist, which is a warrior who gets, she's a wandering spearman who gets obligated to take this little prince and protect him from his own guards because they believe that he has this spirit inside of him and they're trying to kill him to protect their land. So she's trying to protect him from them. So those are a few of my anime recommendations, which didn't hit the top 10 most popular list. Now, lastly, I wanted to talk about Netflix's history with not having the complete series available. Same thing goes for Hulu as well. And, you know, there's actually a meme of people who watch Netflix TV shows and they say, well, I really enjoyed that episode, let me watch another, and that's all that there is. You know, there's no more of the series available. And, you know, for anime fans, we have a completely different struggle. We'll get to that last episode and we actually have to look it up and see, was that really the last episode? Are there like 2 more or 4 more episodes available somewhere else and they just didn't have it all? The same thing goes for Hulu, but you know, I just gotta say first and foremost that I don't blame Netflix, I don't blame Hulu, because I know there's a bit more to it than that, and some people, it's a bit of a confusion going on, because some people actually do blame them, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this now. I don't think anybody over at Netflix would shoot themselves in the foot and say, okay, so this is a 24-episode long anime, only give me 20 of the episodes, let them go somewhere else for the other 4. We only have space on our servers for 20 episodes. I don't think anybody would say that. I point my finger at the people who hold the license, because it is their incentive for people to not watch the anime on everybody else's site. It is their incentive to get people to go over to their site. I'm not going to say any names, but we all know. But it is their incentive to get people to go over there and pay their subscription fee or buy the anime itself. But I mean, if you think about it, if you're only buying the last DVD set, like, who wants to have a shelf that's filled up with only the last set of something? You want to have the full thing, so it's kind of obligating you to buy the complete series when it doesn't have, like, the second season or the last few episodes of it on Netflix. And I think that it's the people who hold the license that only give Netflix and Hulu the ability to only show certain parts of the series. And it's actually been that way for a long time. I remember, like, even before I was even big on YouTube, back when I was at, like, you know, 5,000 subs, I'd go down to my Dunkin' Donuts every morning and have breakfast, and I'd always talk to the girl behind the counter about anime on Netflix, and she would talk about, yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, I really loved Brotherhood, but it just never had enough. So this has been a problem that's been ongoing for a long time. So let me just put this problem into contrast real quick. If we compare this to Hulu, for example, you go over to Hulu, you watch an anime series, and it ends 4 episodes short of what's actually available. You're being inconvenienced by that. It is a minor annoyance because you didn't actually pay anything to watch that. You just sat through a few commercials. Some people can pay for Hulu, but you don't necessarily have to watch the shows that they have. Netflix, on the other hand, Netflix has many of the same shows that Hulu will have or other streaming services online, but it is a pay-only service. So there's no other way that you can watch these shows on Netflix unless you pay them for the subscription. And when you pay for Netflix, you want to see the shows and you want to see all that is currently available. And when you're just being restricted by whoever is responsible for this, you know, it is something that it kind of feels like you're not honestly getting your money's worth out of Netflix because there's not the complete series available. You paid for it to actually watch some of these shows and you're not being able to complete them. So it is definitely a problem with the service regardless of whether or not they are to blame for it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Have you ever had any issues with Netflix where you're watching an anime series and it's not the complete show up there? Personally, I haven't had too many issues like that, but it is really annoying when I have some of those problems. And also let me know your current favorite anime series on Netflix in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.